live in Studio 2A, Jacob Acosta. So without further ado, Jacob and friends, take it away.
The honeysuckle and the Dutchman's pie at my ankles and thighs. Lift my spirit, oh, can you hear the crunch of all the walking sticks? Find the weeds and dry so leaves. Wild dance, cover it, turn over, heat slurs, melodies from this dry valley concur. Sweet the sounds of my paradise, the waking light all around us is grows. Fill my house up with light, play every note to your heart's delight, yeah. Silver cups and golden seeds, heating names, skinny trees and every trail that flows. Every line seems to know. Sweet the sounds of my paradise, my pulse inside sharpens when I surrender desire. Making time for the ones who know the score. Their song goes on and on, even when we're gone. Raining. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that it's raining. Would you look outside, it's beautiful. The javelinas are all playing in my high, I've been sustaining and it's magical, yeah. And now it's raining, although the streets aren't quickly draining. Visibility is fading, I must say again. This hot drought ridden basin, I'm so glad to see some nimble stride this rolling in. Yeah. Yeah. slowing. Rattlers visit snowbirds, desert rats are knowing. Maybe it's time to find some cover, still the warmth of one another safe inside. Yeah, but honey, would you care to dance with me? We could do cha-cha-cha in privacy, and we could move the salsa tango. Waltz around until 3 in the morning, then we'll sleep. Hit the trail for the afternoon. Leave the Kauai trip around and soon we'll make our way back to the pad. Aren't you glad it was raining? Darling, me too, yeah. Stopped raining. That was the best 15 minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes evening that I've ever had. No, I can't wait till it starts raining. Not complaining, I'm just saying, hope it comes back again. But honey, would you care to dance with me? We can play the game of life and privacy. We can play broken guitars, man our own personal bar, till last call comes for us both. Or we can both hit the town tonight, revel in ourselves with paradise. Aren't you glad that it was raining? Aren't you glad it was raining? Yeah, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that it's raining. I'm just stating that to you. Your skin, am I holding on? Such a beautiful specter, a splendor, a serenade that constantly whispers my name, yeah. The rumors from Cabo to the Juniper Mountains, many others have seen, but then so few believe you are still here. And I still ask the greyhound, and sometimes the pygmy. Are you listening? Are you listening? Have you seen her or heard a song? Oh, I can't. Oh, don't you worry for me. I'm where I'm supposed to be, gathering fields of lavender. And oh, won't you please sing about me, so they all know I will not just be a memory. I'll be with you wherever you go. Yeah. so I keep riding, and I always speak of you. You call me the Revenant. Some of them see me too. Just a lonely vaquero around in the wind. You won't just be my memory. You'll be one for all of them. I can't don't you worry for me. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Gathering fields of lavender. No, won't you please sing about so late on? No, I will not just be a memory. I'll be with you wherever you go. I can't don't you worry for me. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Gathering fields of lavender, and oh, won't you please sing about no, I will not just be a memory. I'll be with you wherever you go.
.3 KXCI Tucson. My name is Sophie Gibson Rush. I am here live in Studio 2A, joined by the Jacob Acosta Band. You guys, thanks so much for being here. It's so great to have you.
Thanks for having us back. I've been here a few times, so I'm glad that you brought us back here for this one. And I'll let you kind of go around the room if you want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who's in here?
Who are you guys? Let's start over here with our violinist.
My name is Courtney Pinsky.
Hey, Courtney.
Hi.
And of course.
I'm Jacob Acosta.
Very young.
And our percussionist.
And Andre Greciu, he's feeling a little under the weather, so he just stepped out for a second.
Right, yeah. Let's let him recoup so that he can do a whole other set, or two others.
But yeah, Andre recorded all the percussion on the Desert Sounds record. And then Courtney recorded about, like, I'd say 80 to 90% of the violin on that record, probably 90-something%.
Yeah.
So she's kind of the primary over here. And Barry, over here, he's actually in a couple of bands of mine. You might have seen him around, but he's in Mason, the blues rock band, and also playing for this release for Desert Sound. So he's part of the Jacob Acosta Band.
Awesome. Yeah. And Brittany, I just... real quick, I play violin, so I'm super interested. Did you write the parts that you're performing on the Desert Sounds album?
When we first got together, we kind of jammed on some tunes that he gave me, and I think from what we did, he kind of created the violin part and the piano. So I changed it a little bit, but it's mostly...
Did I say Brittany?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
okay.
sorry. Courtney.
It's okay.
You know when that seed is like in the back of your head and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, she's not toxic or losing her hair or anything. So this is Courtney, like Courtney Cox.
Courtney. Yeah, because I think you're probably classically trained.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a classically trained violinist, sometimes moving into this world can mean like a shift in perspective. Did you find that at all?
I do a lot of fiddling as well, so it wasn't that much of a shift, but getting to do things like this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jacob, you mentioned Mason. You've been a part, if not like the leader of many different projects, many different bands, many different sounds. Like you've played in so many genres. Why Desert Sounds now?
So I've been working a long time, as you've been saying. This record came about when I moved back. I was living in the Bay Area, and I moved back, and I really, really love Arizona, and I wanted to do an Arizona record next. And I knew it was going to take time, and the stories would have to be quite broad in subject. You got stories on this record about the Grand Canyon. You got stories about some of the things in personal life, places around town, people that I've run into in Arizona, experiences I've had as a child, and a lot of other things that are kind of important to me, historical information. You know, in Little Spring, if we get to it later, it's like the story of Arizona. So before statehood, and like some of the first people who were here. So I kind of wanted to do a lot of storytelling and, you know, do an Arizona record that really paid a kind of a respect in different ways to Arizona and the Sonoran Desert and the animals. The first track is just animals, you know,
Yeah.
it's just animals of the Sonoran Desert. You had no idea there were this many animals here, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have a bit of a soft spot for history. What historical stories draw you to them?
In particular, you know, the Grand Canyon is this kind of like sacred place for many people, but it's also a place where people lived. And it's also a place where many types of things lived beyond us, and even before the dinosaurs. Right, you have just so much history in that place, and it's still a part of our present day, and just some of the things that happened where people were looking for certain things at that time, what they thought was the important thing, like gold or industry, right? And you'll hear me talk about that in some of the songs, like Coronado and Joseph Ives in that song. But like also some of the history in Little Spring, where some of the first people that were here were the Hohokam and the Tohono O'odham Nation. So you know, and even before that, I mean, I could only go back so far and find so much, but there's so much if you're looking for it. And just things about how things were developing, how American settlement came, was really more the British, right, kind of pushing, and then there was Spain underneath, and all this kind of conquering or exploring that was happening. And that's kind of part of the history of Arizona, because we're in that weird middle place between the oceans, right? People really wanted this land for a lot of things, some of it being mining, right? So it was just stuff like that, like in Little Spring or in the Canyon, where you kind of get to talk about some of the history. And I tried not to make it a negative or positive, more like a, you know, kind of like, hey, this happened here. So it's more hoping that people will learn about Arizona and appreciate it.
Yeah.
So.
And feel some of that love that you clearly have for the state. What made you move back?
So I just, you know, I have a lot, there's a lot, right, that can occur in your life to make that decision happen. But, you know, I for one thing, I knew I didn't fit in the Bay Area. And, you know, I came back because there was a lot of things here for me that I wanted to be. The woman that I'm with now was here, who I love so much, and she's awesome. She actually did all the art for the record. Christine Shermer is the artist.
The Sunburst Javelina? That I love
she did
so
all
much?
the stuff.
Yeah.
She did all the things. The Saguaro National Park shot at sunset. So there was that. There was music that brought me back a lot. Just the feeling I have living here, and the people and the vibe. It's just, people here are very organic and real and raw sometimes. More lately, we're getting a little more gentrified, but I still feel like there's a lot of that types of folk here, and I really dig that about the place, and I really love living here, and I just want other people to know about it as well.
To experience it through sound. Yeah. Wonderful. One last question before we jump into the next set. You said it has it has literary storytelling, I believe, is the quote. And I'm wondering if this is like a lyrical shift for you, writing in like a more literary way, like maybe a more folk storytelling way. And I'm just thinking about this in terms of Mason, which I know relatively
Right.
well, and I don't think of it as like literary storytelling.
No.
And I'm wondering what made you make that shift.
So some of you may know or may not know that I have done jingle writing for a long time.
I did not
I
know
actually am the voice of Code School in many of their courses and jingles, like over 40 or something like
That's
that.
awesome.
So I'm pretty used to trying to change my style to appease one person, right? And then I use that kind of quality to come into my music. You know, if I was interested in going into, the blues, or if I was going into Americana or pop, I could just kind of navigate based on things I was learning and practicing beforehand, just on a grander scale, like a band, right? So yeah, that's kind of where it comes from. And Andre can attest, he's been with me the longest. He knows that I am just a chameleon. I like to change it up and make it interesting. This one in particular was a little more personal, so I did do a heavier amount of storytelling and trying to bring people into the concept, almost like a Moody Blues type of thing,
Yeah.
like really, or America.
Did the
like those types
lyrics
of
for
bands.
this come before the song writing? Or?
The process is different every time. Sometimes I'll just come up with a name of a song and then I'll write the words, or sometimes a riff, or sometimes there's a melody that I hear and I just want to put it in something, but I don't know what yet, so I'll record it and I'll just save it and come back to it later. And we do a lot of recording. Everyone knows in here, like, I'm always saving recordings of practices or rehearsals, and so we can kind of come back to it, and
Great.
so that's somewhat of the process. It's kind of random sometimes. So
Yeah. Jingle writing.
jingle writing, yeah,
The ultimate practice.
there you go.
All you young musicians out there. All right, next set. You got
Yeah,
it
let's
all
do
ready?
some. Let's do a song about the Grand Canyon here
Yeah,
next.
let's.
Yeah. Turn down the presence a little bit. Okay. All right, this one's called In the Canyon.
Meet me in the canyon, past the gardens by the river. You know I'll be cleansing my soul. Hush now, 'cause the creatures all around here are observing. Let's not disturb them. Just be thankful that now we can finally breathe. Yeah. Meet me by Ribbon Falls, so there's beauty for us all, when we are safe from every phone call and plague and distraction. Oh, and look up for Mr. Harris and Mrs. Harris and Brother Harris. We could take turns like them, sleeping around to no end till we finally collapse when we feel born again. Till we feel born again. After 800 years, we'll see how the sacred walls and woman can change them. I want survive. They don't know what to play. 35 million need the river and their children and their children. All the wildlife and the weather, it's all gone now. Breathe it together after 8,000 years. Can we come back here? I've got plans to pull out with opinion. They're a living home. Takes the ember as the flame dances, tells new stories of this place. This place. Oh, this down and meet me in the canyon. Oh, down and meet me in the canyon. Oh, down and meet me in the canyon. Down and meet me in the canyon.
All right. We're going to take it down to Mexico next, if that's cool with you. Had a lot of fun times there as a teenager. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Down to Mexico, load up the caravan, it's time to go. Did you remember the cerveza? It's unforgivable. Let's just leave them at the border. Find your own tacos and montas piñaritos. Sing. Still have 200 miles left to leave. Let Vicente in your lucha and please move over. I think I see a spot that's perfect for a picture. I don't really care for anything. You see it's today. Let's go on adventure. From some gringos people say, and if we get arrested, have some 20s on our way. Oh, hermosa, muy bonita. Let's get lost in this city tonight. Fall asleep by the ocean and count all the stars in the sky. Que onda, señor? If for the weekend, but I want so much more. A small casita maybe by the shore. A place to serenade or sometimes misbehave. How much would that cost more? I don't really care for anything. You serious today? Let's go on adventure. From the gringos they will say, and if we get arrested, have some 20s on our way. Llévame contigo, This next song is called German American Girl. Upon us again. Some neighborhoods, you know, forever. Break of the arms or the bar of your drawers, and it sticks in your memory like the scenery, like the best parts of me, and how I somebody this news, not read what is written, multiply like a mouse, take to the wind, disappear in the night of that urge. We all search with our eyes to find all we need to survive. Citrus trees for good times. Wanna be on the fences, are we on the right defenses? Hear the music, see the blood in the moon, create the culture, 'cause you know it will all be gone soon. Now my chances
KXCI Tucson, you're listening to Locals Only. My name is Sophie Gibson Rush, and I am here in Studio 2A, joined by the Jacob Acosta Band. Thanks so much for being here,
Thank you
guys. Another wonderful set. I was thinking about the strings, like this really luscious string part you have, and then you mentioned desert animals, which open the album, and then there's instruments on this album that I can't even pronounce the names of, and you're whistling throughout the album. It must have been kind of an unusual recording process. What went into it?
Yeah, so like I said, Andre and we had recorded the Mason record previously to this one, and we had done it from our houses, and that's kind of how we discovered how we wanted to record it. So there was a lot of single miking and tracking of each instrument. So like you see over here, you have a surdo. It's a Brazilian type of drum, and so we would mic that separately. We would mic the snare separately. We'd go from underneath. We would take each instrument so that way we could isolate it and see if we liked it or not. If we didn't like it, to get rid of it, in the mix or whatever, or just let the mixing guy, Bob Hogue, the magical mixing guy, take care of it too. So it was really more of like just listening for sounds and trying to make each song unique but well produced, because that was kind of like the theme after I wrote Desert Sounds. Desert Sounds was actually the first song I fully produced prior to all the other ones. So I was kind of in the process of producing some of those, but that was like the first one that kind of raised the bar. So I was like, okay, so everything's got to have, its own taste, but also be very, unique instrument wise and the colors and the melodies. So
yeah, it comes across as kind of this really like textural, it's an experience from beginning to end, and each song is super evocative, which is cool. Is there anything different about, you've had a chance to perform these songs live,
a little
right?
bit. Yeah, we played at the Folk Festival recently.
Oh yeah, right.
Us four. And then me and Andre and Courtney have actually been playing some of these songs for a little while. About a year and a half. We've been playing some of these around, kind of fleshing out how we're going to do it live, and it's always like that constant process of working and recording. I think the thing that I liked a lot about the record is all these kind of secret moments people don't know about, like in the finale, which is this instrumental rephrasing of all the motifs from the album, which from different songs, so that way you can kind of go back on the journey. We didn't have congas, and we were like, what are we gonna do? This part needs congas, so he's like, hold on. So Andre's kind of like the master. He's not in the room, but I'm gonna talk about him. He's like the master of like finding the sound that we're looking for when it comes to percussion. He's like, give me a second. So he goes back and he gets these 5-gallon jugs, and he's like, here we go. And I'm like, so we're gonna like fill them up with water, like different heights or something. Yep. And then we had to figure out how to like post them up, so that you could hit them and not have the sound of like the metal, shaking, right? So you're kind of like, so it was kind of fun, like those secret moments. I think I like those the most about recording, when you're like trying to find the sound that you're looking for, and you end up finding like the weirdest way to get there.
Yeah.
We ended up using, instead of like on the gyro, instead of using that weird stick that everyone uses, we went to a Sally's beauty salon, and we got a comb, one of those metal combs that's, I think, for like frizzing out your hair or something. So like it was just, I think that's what I enjoyed most about making the music for this, is that it just opened the palette really well artistically to just go wherever and try stuff, even if it didn't work, and now I get to kind of do that with the live band. We're practicing again on Wednesday with a giant band. We got trumpets, violins,
right,
another drummer. It's like going to be this huge production. So I'm kind of bringing in some of that secret. Hopefully we got some secret stuff coming to, I don't know. You might not see a 5-gallon water jug.
I was going to ask, are the 5-gallon buckets making it to Congress?
Something might come up. You never know up there.
Yeah, or just a comb, a pocket comb.
Just turn to a trumpet player and be like, here, you're going to do this now.
Yeah. So how many people are joining you on stage at Congress?
So for this show, it looks like it's going to be 8 people.
Yeah.
We got 2 violin players, Chiara Ferrero, and then here Courtney Penske. She's the primary, right? And then Mike Ancomas and Andrew Davidson. Mike Ancomas was actually the trumpet player that recorded on the whole record. except for like one or two songs. He's pretty much everything.
So 2 trumpets.
So yeah, Andrew
a
Davidson
brass
from
section.
School of
That's great.
Music Kids, and then you know, Mike Ancomas. He's actually from Santa Pachita, so you know that local band probably, and he's a monster. He played flute as well on the record.
I did not know.
And then just me and Barry here are holding it down the rhythm section, and then we got Ray Peralta, who's the other drummer. He's a set drummer for the show. So we got a lot of players coming for this one. And then we are backed by some really great groups, Jillian and the Giants,
Right.
and Lita Lopez, of course,
Yeah.
a Tucson treasure. So
And that show starts at 7 p.m., I believe.
Doors are 7,
Doors
yeah.
are at 7, show is at 8, and it is free.
And it's going to start probably even before 8. It's just going to like kick off, and we're just going to party all night. It'll be fun.
And this is Saturday, May 26th.
And it's
at
free.
Club Congress.
Yeah, it's a free show. So
Ooh.
thanks to those folks.
We got to get back into the music.
Yeah, well, let's
Yeah.
do. We probably only have one more epic tale for you because some of these songs are quite long.
Okay.
The record itself is like 63 minutes, but it's really, really awesome to kind of like take your time through it. And
Yeah.
And this is one of those ones that's probably one of my favorites. It's called 7 Kings. I used to live in Phoenix, and this is kind of like a folklore tale about the 7 high points of Phoenix. And you'll actually get to see them on this custom map that is only sold at the shows. So you got to go to the shows if you want to buy the special package for Desert Sounds.
That is
There's this really cool
awesome.
custom map that was made for the journey with all the lyrics and stuff. So
Well, it sounds like you've thought of everything. And I can't wait to see it on Saturday.
yeah, oh great! I'm excited that you're coming.
Yeah.
So
All right,
7
you guys.
Kings. We're probably take it out on this one. So
Great. Take it away.
1, 2, 3, 4. He looked up and shaking into their eyes when the sands bid he tasted the end of his time. But the riders insisted he come along. Now instead of dying, he's never gone. Never gone. The sandstones hit this desert plain, and the clouds drop down miles of pouring rain. Out and mighty, he travels through the space with the riders who drive for the 7 Kings. Yeah. All the rangers and the lawmen knew his name. The Black Rider was a killer and wanted for his game. But the story was that somebody shot him down. Now there's no one who has seen him since around. No, not since around.
and the thunder powers like the hooves of a stallion, and the valley fills, drowns, washes away the day. Take cover, my love, it's coming through again. When it's over, wind cries out a little tune. I think he's wishing someone knew how to save him from the storm. Oh, and the riders, his own heart, his own, yeah, his own heart.
Thank you.
This is 91.3 KXCI Tucson. You've been listening to Locals Only live in Studio 2A. This has been the Jacob Acosta Band. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.